Jesus said who the beast was. He said it while he was on earth. Today's believers in Christ actually have the same belief that the unbelieving Jews had in the first century. They're completely wrong about the beast. Jesus never mentioned Rome. He never said any destruction was coming to Rome. Pilate said his hands were clean of that just man. He told the Jews that they could see to it, and they said, "Let his blood be on us and on our children." Pilate said he was free of that man's blood. Everything in the book of Revelation is explained by Jesus' words in the Gospels. That's all you need to know to understand the book of Revelation. People are going to these lying church fathers and everybody else, whenever all you need to understand the book of Revelation are the words of Jesus. He said the Gentiles would come and trample the holy city underfoot until the times of the Gentiles were fulfilled. He said that would be the wrath. There would be great wrath upon this people, the Jews, and the Jews would fall by the edge of the sword and be led away captive into all nations. And that's what it said in Revelation about the beast. Same thing Jesus said about the Gentiles. He said the Gentiles would come, trample the city underfoot until the times of the Gentiles were fulfilled. Revelation said the Gentiles would come, trample the city underfoot 42 months until the times of the Gentiles were fulfilled. Times of the Gentiles already happened. In 66 AD, the Roman armies came to Jerusalem and trampled the city underfoot for 42 months until the temple was destroyed in 70 AD. It was 42 months. Now what happened to the beast in Revelation? Jesus said while he was on earth, he said there would be great wrath upon the Jews, and they would fall by the edge of the sword and be led away captive into all nations. When did they fall by the edge of the sword? When were they led away captive into all nations? During the times of the Gentiles that came and killed them with the edge of the sword and led them away captive into all nations. So what does it say about the beast? The beast was given power to continue for 42 months. Hear what the Spirit says. He that kills with the sword must be killed with the sword. He that leads into captivity must go into captivity. That was the beast. Unbelieving Israel was the beast. But everybody wants to think that Rome was the beast. That is exactly what the unbelieving Jews thought. The unbelievers who tried to protect the temple that Jesus said would be destroyed, who tried to keep the law that Jesus fulfilled, the ones who rejected Christ and called other men the Messiah, they thought that Rome was the beast. But they were deceived. The real beast was Israel. They rejected their Messiah. They had their Messiah killed. They fell by the edge of the sword. They were led away captive. That's what the beast was. The beast had 7 heads. There were 7 hills in Jerusalem. Everybody says it's the 7 hills of Rome. Jesus never spoke about Rome. He never said Rome would be destroyed. He actually said the opposite. He said he would use Rome to destroy Israel. Jesus Christ got power over the nations, the rod of iron. Jesus Christ received the iron kingdom, the rod of iron God put in their hearts to fulfill his will and to make her desolate. Mystery Babylon was Jerusalem. She sat on 7 hills. The beast, Israel, carried Jerusalem, Mystery Babylon. The Romans were the rod of iron, and they left her desolate. That was the beast. Everybody's got the exact opposite. It's just funny how believers today think that the beast is the same thing that Israel thought, because they're reading the law and they're reading Daniel, which wasn't revealed until the revelation of Jesus Christ. The beast in Daniel, the one that it's talking about in Revelation, is the little horn. It's the little horn that came up among that beast, among the other 10 horns. What happened to Israel back then? 1/3 of the sea became blood. The Romans came and built a wall around them and let the Jews in for Passover. See, Jesus Christ became the new Passover. But these guys rejected Jesus, and they kept Passover instead. The Romans knew that all of Israel came from all over the world for Passover. So 3 days before Passover, Rome got a great idea in 70 AD, right before the temple was destroyed. They said, we're going to make a final stand for the temple, and we're going to squash the Jews once and for all. We know that they all come for Passover, and we usually allow them their festivities, you know? He said, so we're going to start building a wall. We're going to let them all in. Then we're going to cut them off with the army, finish building this wall around them, just like Jesus said, since they didn't know the time of their visitation. The armies were going to come, compass them around, dig a trench about them, keep them in on every side, lay them even with the ground and their children within them. Behold, your house is left unto you desolate. Right? So that's what they did. 3 days before Passover, Rome got a great idea. The Jews came from all over the world. They trapped them inside the city. They built a wall around them. They said that the blood was so high that it was quenching fires in Israel by coming out of Jerusalem. So imagine this picture in your head. You've got a wall built around Jerusalem with millions of Jews trapped inside. And they kill so many Jews. They even killed 1 million Jews on the day the temple was destroyed. They killed so many Jews that blood was coming out of this wall. It was seeping out of the wall like a wine press and quenching fires in Israel. There was literally blood coming through the wall. That's what happened in history. They said the bodies were stacked so high that they couldn't touch the ground. They were killing so many people that they were walking on dead bodies. There was bodies floating in the rivers, damming the streams. The sea was a third blood. Historians, by the bones of people back then, say that the bubonic plague or cholera or some kind of plague went through back then and killed a bunch of them. And that was the wrath. It was Jesus Christ getting power over Rome, using Rome to destroy the unbelievers who did not believe in Christ. Jesus never said there'd be wrath on the whole world. He never said it would be the end of the entire planet. He said they would be led away captive into all nations. So nations still existed, and they went away captive into them. He said there'd be great wrath upon the people, the Jews, and told people to flee Judea, not the whole world. He said the temple would be destroyed. That's not something you tell people if you're going to destroy the whole planet. Like, oh, hey guys, I'm going to destroy this temple, flee Judea, because then I'm going to destroy that out there too. No. In 66 AD, the Romans came, Jesus Christ got power over them, God put in their hearts to fulfill his will and make Israel and Jerusalem desolate. And the believers fled into the wilderness for 1,260 days, which was the space of the war. Back then, 1,260 days was equivalent to 42 months. The Jewish calendar was 12 months of 30-day months. But everybody in all their wisdom just won't go to God and talk to God about what actually happened. Because Israel was the beast, not Rome. Everybody's got their scholars, their church fathers that all disagreed with each other and lie about the history of everything that happened, Started Orthodoxy and eventually the Catholic Church. So let's just make it real simple one more time. Jesus said the armies, the Gentiles would come and trample the city until the times of the Gentiles were fulfilled. While they were doing that, the Jews would fall by the edge of the sword, be led away captive into all nations. What's Revelation say? The Gentiles came for 42 months, trampled the city until the times of the Gentiles were fulfilled. While they were doing that, the unbelieving Jews were falling by the edge of the sword and being led away captive. And they were able to continue for 42 months, being led away captive and killed with the sword. And then their house was left desolate on the last day. Everything in the Bible already happened. The book of Revelation is very simple. It all came to pass already. Israel was the beast, not Rome. All the plagues in the book of Revelation, he said if any man added to the book, he would add to them the plagues. All those plagues came on unbelieving Israel in the first century. They do not come on anybody else, even though people have been adding to and taking away from the book of Revelation ever since. They don't come on anybody else because it wasn't to us. Jesus Christ was coming quickly back then. His reward was with him.